Well met, Mega Evolution Theory. In this series I speculate how a potential Mega Evolution could turn out. These are just my opinions and you may not agree with every single statement. If you have your own opinion, feel free to post it in the comment section below. The first Pokemon we are going to be speculating for is Dunsparce. Dunsparce is like the definition of needing a Mega Evolution. Just look at those dopey eyes, the small useless wings that can't even fly, and its tiny drill that's incapable of any drilling. It is lying there hopelessly pleading for some love from the heavens, but no one seems to notice its prayers. When it comes to Dunsparce's base stats, it's nothing to brag about. Its only good stat is HP, which is 100, while everything else is either 70 or below. Dunsparce only has one truly good ability, which is Serene Grace. Runaway has no competitive use, while Rattled is way too situational. Serene Grace gives Dunsparce a high chance to flinch opponents with moves like Rock Slide, but its low speed stat makes flinching hopeless. The attack stats are way too low for any kind of attacker, while defenses are just a little too low for a strong bulky Pokemon. Its basic normal typing has potential for a bulky Pokemon, but no offensive potential. Dunsparce is a great example for a Pokemon that just can't make it. There are two ways Game Freak could go about when making a Mega Evolution for Dunsparce. Either an offensive approach or a defensive approach. If Dunsparce were to go for an offensive approach, it would need major boosts in its attack and special attack, while gaining a little more speed and possibly seeing some improvement on its natural bulk. This would make Dunsparce a swift sweeper after setting up only a single agility. The small growth in its base speed would be just enough to outspeed any major threats in the metagame. With the bulk Dunsparce already has, it won't be a glass cannon like Greninja or Blaziken, and it carries Roost and would not be easy to take down with only a fighting type weakness. When I first thought of Mega Dunsparce, I imagined something like a dragon typing, but I looked further into its move pool, and it doesn't have any good moves to support that typing. The only other additional typing that would support its move pool would be Ground. No Mega Evolutions change the primary typing of a Pokemon. A normal Ground isn't a good defensive typing, and only a decent offensive typing. Keeping Dunsparce as a mono-normal type would make the most sense. When it comes to abilities, it could be something like Huge Power or Pure Power, in contrast with its lack of power before. This would make Dunsparce a monster when using Return or Double Edge, but those two abilities are a little too easy to put on Pokemon to make it strong. Another ability it could have is Scrappy, which would allow it to hit ghost types with the stab normal type attacks, and that's never a bad thing. My personal favorite is the ability Simple. It would double any stat change given to Dunsparce. This would also mean that the Pokemon with Intimidate would hurt it more. But every power comes with a flaw. With Simple it would outspeed everything after one single agility, or be either a physical or a special sweeper because of its access to moves like Calm Mind and Coil. Giving it Curse would make it one of the best Pokemon to use on a Trick Room team. For a defensive Mega Dunsparce, it would just need to switch around the stats of the offensive approach, giving it major boosts to both its defensive stats instead. While being a defensive Pokemon, it doesn't have the same needs of outspeeding the opponent, therefore putting its previous speed investments into special defense instead. It would get small boosts to attack and special attack, just like how it got small boosts to defense and special defense offensively. With base 100 HP and only fighting weakness, Mega Dunsparce would be a pain to take down, either because it keeps roosting or uses moves like Coil or Calm Mind to get even more bulk, while also getting more offensive power. For abilities, I could imagine either Limber or Immunity being great abilities, especially Immunity. When you try to take down a wall that isn't Steel type, the regular approach is to use Toxic, but with Immunity that won't work. Limber would instead stop being paralyzed, which is also highly beneficial. I still think Simple is a great ability for Mega Dunsparce because then it could boost its defenses and offensive power even faster, but maybe it would be a little bit broken and unbalanced in the end. Dunsparce is definitely in need of a Mega Evolution, so it just has to wait patiently for Game Freak to respond, but until then, that's the end of my report. Thank you for listening. Tell me if there is a specific Pokemon you would like me to cover. Zeathus out. I just started this YouTube channel, and I really need some constructive feedback. It would be highly appreciated if you took some time to say what you think of the video in the comment section down below. If you want to see more though, be sure to like this video and subscribe.